Hello everybody, welcome to more Political Excess. Today let's take a look at two primaries that are coming up Tuesday, August 9th. Let's look at Connecticut and Vermont. There's not a lot of action in these states, but let's dive in, start in Connecticut, and look at the U.S. House. Connecticut has presumptive nominees because I guess their primaries can get canceled, similar to in Virginia where they can have a convention or cancel it. But either way, there's not a lot to look at in the House. The first district will be safe for the Democrats. Doesn't matter what happens in the primary. In the second district with Joe Courtney, Republicans already have Mike France as their presumptive nominee. Courtney is favored to win that, but it's not out of the question that there could be an upset. The third district is very safe for the Democrats. Primary is irrelevant, as well as in the fourth district. So let's skip that and go down to the 5th District with Jahana Hayes. She's the presumptive nominee along with George Logan on the Republican side. So there's not really anything to look at here for these primaries. In the general for this 5th District, this could be the closest one. There's a chance Republicans can flip it, but it's still not in their favor. So let's move on to the statewide races. And the biggest one is probably for governor, and incumbent Democrat Ned Lamont is running for re-election to a third term, and it will be a rematch against Bob Stefanowski. They were already chosen to be the nominees at their convention. Last time, Lamont beat Stefanowski by about 3 points back in 2018. That was a blue year as well. This year, we can take a look at the few polls here. Lamont does have a lead. It's not overwhelming. Stefanowski has a chance to win this, and I agree it's tough to see Lamont losing this race. The market shows Lamont winning this fairly comfortably. Let's go on to the U.S. Senate race. Incumbent Democrat Richard Blumenthal, he's running for re-election to a third term. So most of the focus is going to be on the Republican side, and they do have a primary. The frontrunner there is Themis Claridis. She's a former state representative. I did watch some of the debate here, and she is definitely the more moderate candidate. Probably the type you would expect to see running in the Northeast. Very liberal type of a Republican, so she's probably the best option. But as for taking down Blumenthal, I don't think that's going to happen at all. So let's move on to Vermont, where there's one U.S. House race. And incumbent Democrat Peter Welch is retiring to run for the U.S. Senate, so it's an open seat. There's a bit of a competitive primary for the Democrats between Becca Balint, state senator, and Molly Gray, the lieutenant governor. According to the polling, Becca Balint does have a lead. The market also shows Balint with an overwhelming lead, so she's likely to be the nominee there. On the Republican side, it really doesn't matter at all. Republicans are going to do nothing in this House race. There's also the progressive primary as well as the independents. I don't think they're going to be a factor. It's going to be easy win for the Democrats. So let's go on to the statewide races, and for governor, incumbent Republican Phil Scott, he is running for re-election. He is easily the most or second most liberal Republican out of all the governors, but he will have to get through a primary. It's going to be token opposition. He's going to win that nomination. This is a rare situation where the other parties, the progressives and the Democrats, it actually doesn't matter who the nominee is there. I don't see anybody getting close to Phil Scott. Even though it is a deep blue state, Phil Scott's the kind of guy who can win in Vermont. Let's move on to the U.S. Senate race, where a very long-time incumbent, Patrick Leahy, is retiring, so there's an open primary there. But there really is not going to be any drama, as U.S. Representative Peter Welch, he's going to have that nomination very easily. I don't know how long he'd serve for, because he is already 75 years old, but on the Republican side, I hate to say it, but there's no point in looking at this. Republicans have zero chance at getting anywhere under 10 points in this race. So that's a quick recap of Connecticut and Vermont. Feel free to look at some of the other statewide races if you're into those. Otherwise, let me know what you think about any of the races that I covered here down below in the comments. And if you enjoyed this channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.